Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we take some pretty dense source material, crack it open, and really give you the core truth and the takeaways you might not expect. Today, we are taking a hard left turn. We're going into the hypothetical, but, and this is key, we're treating it with absolute analytical rigor. We are diving into a detailed thought experiment based on a source we're calling the Red Hood, Real-World Summoning Protocols.
That's right. And our mission really is to strip away the fantasy. We're not here to talk about, superpowers or magic.
Right.
We are applying a really rigorous psychological and operational analysis to a deeply established character profile. We're looking at how the vigilante Red Hood, specifically Jason Todd, would realistically act if you just pulled him into our world.
And we should be clear, we are talking about a very specific version of Jason Todd. With this analysis, we're relying entirely on the iteration from the Under the Red Hood comic. For anyone who isn't, deep in the lore, why is that so important?
It's vital. I mean, it's absolutely vital because that version is the most raw. He's recently resurrected, deeply traumatized. This isn't the Jason Todd of today who's a bit more integrated.
Softened, almost.
Exactly. This is the hyper-competent, emotionally volatile, fully weaponized vigilante. He's driven by that immediate trauma of dying, of being brought back, and, well, being replaced.
So we're treating this seriously. The whole point of this deep dive is to look at his behavior based strictly on that established trauma, his training, and the fact that in our world, there's basically no check on his actions. What happens when you introduce that kind of personality into a world that doesn't even know what a costume vigilante is?
We're really assessing the real-world implications of dropping a military-grade operative into a reality where none of his old rules apply. His context, Batman, Gotham, the Joker, it's all suddenly gone. And those first few moments, according to the sources, they set the stage for everything that comes after.
Okay, let's unpack those first few seconds then. If you, the listener, are the one who did this, what's your immediate danger level? The source gives a crystal clear breakdown of his reaction. What are the three things he scans for? Instantly.
It's pure muscle memory. I mean, he doesn't waste a tenth of a second. It's an instant threat assessment. And the sources confirm three variables almost simultaneously. First, immediate weapons in the room.
Okay.
Second, all viable exits, his lines of retreat. And third, the person who did it, you, the potential primary threat.
That is terrifyingly efficient. He doesn't even pause to wonder about the flash of light or the fact that he just changed dimensions.
No. In his world, a sudden, unexpected arrival always means danger. He immediately assumes it's one of three things. Some kind of magic he doesn't understand, a new metahuman event, or, and this is the most likely in his mind, a very complex trap.
So he's defensive, offensive, all at once.
Yes.
But the source suggests you, the summoner, you get a moment, a grace period. So why do you survive? I mean, if he assumes it's a trap, his training has to be screaming, neutralize the threat.
And here's the key detail, and it really comes down to his personality. He's initially spared because Jason is curious. And, frankly, he's pissed off. He holds his fire, his guard is way up, weapons are drawn, but, and the source emphasizes this, if you appear genuinely scared, confused, not hostile.
Unprepared for a fight.
Exactly. He'll lower the guns just slightly. You survive by being confusing, by signaling you're not a competent threat, not by actually being harmless.
So a real track could be aggressive, meaning your confusion actually signals to him that this is something different. Curiosity buys you a few seconds.
Precisely. His protocol flips from immediate elimination to aggressive interrogation.
And that's where it gets really interesting. The moment he realizes our world isn't his, we go from that tactical assessment to, well, a realization of absence. What are the three context elements he confirms are missing?
He processes it incredibly fast, probably by, accessing a news feed, looking at the sky, the architecture. The three things that define his entire identity are gone. Number one, no Batman, which means no ultimate ethical backstop.
Right. No one to pull him back from the edge.
No one. Number two, no Gotham, no specific battlefield. And crucially, number three, no Joker.
Wow. The absence of that one single conflict, that must just fundamentally change everything for him. Now, for a normal person, this would be a total breakdown, panic. But the source is very specific about Jason's emotional state here. He doesn't crumble, does he?
He does not panic. That is a critical distinction. Panic means losing control, and his entire system is built to never let that happen again. So instead, the analysis says he becomes quiet, angry, and absolutely hyper-focused. The shock just gets channeled directly into rage and determination.
The focused anger sounds so much worse than panic. And this leads to his first big question. This tells you everything about his priorities. What does he need to know?
His priority is agency. He sees this as a violation, a manipulation, so he demands to know who pulled me here and why. It confirms his focus shifts from the environment itself to the person responsible for moving him. He needs to know the motive.
Which brings us right to the summoner's fate. If you did this, how does he treat you? What's the deciding factor between a warning and something much worse?
It all boils down to intent. And this is where the source is surprisingly nuanced. If the summoner genuinely meant no harm, maybe they were just, an experimenter who didn't understand the consequences, he won't physically hurt them.
That's a huge relief. But I'm guessing there's a catch.
Oh, it's entirely conditional. He will give a mandatory, and I mean terrifying, warning. He will tell you to never, ever do this again. To anyone. And the tone of that warning is probably punishment enough.
Okay, but what if it was reckless? What if you did it for, I don't know, YouTube views, or just to see if you could?
That's when he sees it as disrespect. You used his existence as a toy. In that case, you can expect some very harsh words, a direct physical threat, and he'll probably destroy any tech you have nearby. Your phone, your laptop, any weapons. He's establishing dominance and making sure you can't do it again.
And now for the worst-case scenario. The thing most people would probably want if they did this. Trying to control him. To use him as an asset.
Bad idea. The source material is very blunt here. It literally says, attempting to control him is a bad idea because Jason hates being used. That's the core of his trauma. He was used as a weapon the second he was resurrected.
So any hint of manipulation triggers a violent response.
It's an overwhelming one.
What's the guaranteed result if he thinks you're a danger or you try to give him an order?
You're not going to die, because he saves that for the truly evil, but you are being neutralized immediately and thoroughly. The source guarantees this. He knocks you out, ties you up, and leaves you with a warning you won't forget.
Which probably means more than just words.
Oh yeah. Think broken bones, maybe some serious property damage around you, something to make the point physically memorable. From that moment on, he's operating independently.
Okay, so he's free. He's in our world. What's his operational style? He's not going to show up on the news as a new superhero, I take it.
Absolutely not. He avoids that kind of celebrity. It's dangerous. It's counterproductive. The sources are clear. He goes underground, and he does it fast. He wants anonymity and efficiency.
So who are his targets? In Gotham, it was organized crime, but in our world, what groups does he seek out?
He chooses targets based on his, let's call it his moral calculus. He wants definitive justice, the kind Batman would never deliver. So his targets are very specific. Human traffickers, organized crime rings, and violent abusers.
Why those three specifically?
Because they represent the complete failure of the systems Batman protects. Traffickers, organized crime, abusers, they thrive because the law is too slow or too corrupt to stop them. Jason sees them as preying on the weak, and he gets a psychological satisfaction from dealing a final definitive blow.
Let's talk about the real-world impact of that. This isn't a comic book fight. This is a trained, lethal operative against real-world police.
And he cleans house quietly. This is the truly terrifying part of the analysis. His skills are basically Delta Force or SAS level against, local law enforcement. The police wouldn't even be hunting a costume vigilante. They'd just notice a sudden, inexplicable drop in certain types of crime.
So the evidence of his action is the absence of the crime itself.
Exactly. He's not a person they can track. He's an anomaly in their crime statistics.
Yeah.
But let's say a government or a specialized agency does figure it out. They see the pattern.
What happens when they try to intervene?
They'd struggle